Hey guys, Marcinkin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we are drawing towards the end of part 3 and supposedly the end of the entire worldwide celebration. Feedback has been mixed along the way, but I feel like as we've gotten towards the end here, I've seen a bit more of an uptick in positivity in terms of people's overall thoughts on the celebration. I think the celebration has been great, possibly the best celebration ever. It's funny that everybody clowned on Truth for saying that near the beginning. And as time goes on, the more it kind of seems like that may in fact be the case. I think that it's been handled pretty well. I think the main thing people don't like is them adding a new coin, but I think in the future we'll see that the carnival banners are going to end up being much better than just getting, like, you know, blue coin double rates banners or more yellow coin banners, because obviously the quality of the banner itself is much better. But we're not really here to talk about the celebration. Maybe we could do that in a separate video. You guys let me know when the celebration wraps up if you guys would be interested in seeing a video going into a bit more detail of like an overall look back on the celebration. But we are here to talk about, as you can guess from the title, the possibility of there being an EX part for this celebration. Now, the first time they did this was, of course, with the anniversary. They've never done this before. We haven't had a massive celebration like that since, so we don't really have any way to know if this is something that they are definitely going to do from here on out. Because the one thing you have to bear in mind is when we look at part 3 of the celebration, it started on the 22nd of September and goes until the 3rd of October, going by these dates. Apart from the co-op campaign, like all of the dates for the events and stuff like that are all listed until the 3rd of October. So basically part 2 is around about 2 weeks. Or sorry, part 3 is around about 2 weeks. Now, when we look at the 7th anniversary, part 3 of the anniversary, which is what I've got up here, only lasted for around about a week. And then we had the EX part, which was then itself around about a week. So I'm not too sure if that necessarily means that, you know, this last part being 2 weeks excludes the possibility of an EX part. Because in the EX part, for Global, we obviously got this, which came out on JP not long afterwards. But the main draw was the EZAs for the LR Super Saiyan 4s. We also got the reduced boost, which was kind of weird because it came out right at the end when there wasn't really a huge amount to do. And then technically that was all the EX part brought out. Now on JP, obviously remember this here is where they got the free-to-play LR GT Juniors. A lot of people have been speculating, obviously something that could be really cool to see for the EX part if they do one for the worldwide celebration is obviously some kind of EZA and then potentially another free-to-play LR. Because remember, this EZA was just replacing the GT Juniors that Global got earlier. I probably should have just brought up the JP page for the celebration because that would have made a bit more sense. Now, the thing is, when we look at the dates compared to last year, so this celebration, as I said, part 3 is technically 2 weeks and it goes on until the 3rd of October. If we go back and look at last year, after the worldwide celebration, the next campaign started on the 5th of October, and then that's when the AGL Kid Gohan and Garlic Jr. came out on Global. Now, the time slot for this year, this should be when the Resurrection of F, Int, Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta unit releases on Global. So when you look at the timing, if we're looking for somewhere between like the 3rd and the 5th is when this is dropping, like this is when part 3 of the anniversary of the worldwide celebration is due to finish. So the only way I could see there being an EX part is if we get to... So I'm recording this on Sunday the 25th. Tomorrow is obviously going to be Monday, and then a week from tomorrow is Monday the 3rd, which is the last day. So, I mean, they could announce something tomorrow, I guess, and the EX part is just kind of like the last week of the celebration, but I'm actually not too sure. Like, I was kind of excited for the idea of them potentially doing an EX part, but when we look at the dates and stuff like that, I'm kind of feeling now it maybe isn't as likely. But if it's going to happen, we should see some information about it probably within like 24 hours of this video going up. So that will be quite interesting. Now, the main thing, of course, is what are they going to do for the EX part? Because we've had a ton of stuff already. But there are a few things that left over that we could still see, which I think would be pretty cool. So the thing that I tweeted out yesterday that's kind of started this whole topic, and we'll go on to the tweet where I asked you guys for some of your feedback, is obviously the idea. I saw someone speculating about it, and I just posted to see what people's reactions would be. And obviously that would be getting an EZA for the AGL Bardock. Now, obviously, there's not a direct tie, necessarily, to the theme of the celebration, although you can argue that the theme, even though it has been entirely, like, cooler, and, like, cooler versus the Saiyans kind of related, even though, obviously, you know, like, Full Power Frieza got his EZA, Namek Goku, you can kind of tie in the whole, like, Saiyans versus Wicked Bloodline, right? Because that new event that we got, Fighting Spirit of the Saiyans versus Pride of the Wicked Bloodline, so there is that loose tie to, like, Saiyans versus Wicked Bloodline, right? So I feel like this could actually fit really, really nicely as like a EX part EZA for the worldwide celebration, especially because this guy, of course, gets buffs when you're fighting against Wicked Bloodline enemies. So he can transform early, and he has attacks effective against all types in his base form. And then when you do transform, you get guaranteed crits, as well as getting an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super. He does also get attacks effective against all types when attacking extreme class enemies. So if this guy got an EZA that made him really, really good, now obviously I wouldn't expect them to do back-to-back, you know, next level EZAs, but imagine if this guy got an EZA that was on the level of STR Cooler. For anyone having trouble with any of the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone stages, this guy would then become like a must-run unit to absolutely annihilate those stages. So it'd be interesting to see what they would do, because in his base form, he does have this low-class warrior ally thing. It only gives him extra attack, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but imagine if they literally just changed this to, like, low-class warrior. Even if they, I don't know if they would get rid of it completely, that would be better. Change it to pure Saiyans, right? And if they don't get rid of it completely, just have pure per low-class warrior or pure Saiyan, or have both. Because all the low-class warriors are pure Saiyans, right? But the only ones are, like, Turles, Raditz, the Bardock squad. So if you're running those units alongside him, who, let's be fair, alongside Turles, none of them really have, like, good units. So he'd be getting that extra buff, and that would make him even better. So add on, like, you know, attack per low-class warrior ally on the team, and then per pure Saiyan as well. Maybe even make it attack and defense, who knows. Like, this guy could get a crazy good EZA. And following along with that theme of the end of the anniversary, where the EX part gave us an EZA and then a free-to-play LR, we could... I know it's not like the hypest character, but I feel like they could do a good job, right, and make a good card. We could see, like, a new free-to-play Chilled alongside him, or they could just bring up the Super Strike, because this is the Super Strike Chilled, right? Bring up his Awakening and EZA, because remember, for Golden Week, that was on both versions at the same time, they gave both versions the STR Trunks Super Strike EZA at the same time. So this could take that place, or they could do like a free-to-play LR Chilled. That would be kind of cool. Like, obviously at some point the Strike one is going to get his upgrade in his EZA, so I don't necessarily think a free-to-play LR Chilled would be something that would come out very soon, because obviously it would then be in direct competition with this Super Strike unit when it EZAs. But, you know, that would be interesting. And then something that a lot of people suggested, even before the worldwide celebration started, right? Even before we had any idea what the theme would even be. There is, of course, the old worldwide celebration LRs that people would love to see get EZAs, right? Because the anniversary, the direct comparison is right there, of course. The EX part gave EZAs to the anniversary units. I mean, we'd already gotten the 3-year anniversary EZAs at this point, so nobody expected them to drop the 4-year anniversary EZAs as well. So we're looking at the same amount of time, basically, that has passed since these units came out, right? Like, these units are 3 years old now, so, you know, in terms of some of the EZAs we've seen recently, it's definitely not too early for them to EZA. The only thing I would say, I don't think this is that likely, just because it doesn't fit the theme, like, at all. And I feel like because that, you know, you can draw that theme very closely together, I feel like they're going to save these EZAs for when they release superhero stuff. Because obviously, even though it's not, you know, technically the same cell, the superhero theme, you know, Gohan versus Cell fits very nicely into that theme, right? So I don't necessarily see this happening as the EX part, but it definitely is a possibility. So I put out the tweet last night asking what you guys would see. It got a lot of replies, so I'm going to go through a few of them. Shout out to my boy D Simons. I did a summon collab recently with him and Toon, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But he's saying here what we were talking about, LR chilled free to play and EZA for AGL Bardock. I think that would be pretty cool. Vector pushing the DB Saga agenda, of course, in Goku EZA. Of course, you know, being sarcastic, that's not going to fit in the celebration at all. I guess it would be a free-to-play LR like the anniversary got, and maybe a big-time EZA. And then, yeah, I mentioned D Simon's tweet. So I feel like that is really on point. But, again, like I say, I feel like the problems with Chilled getting a free-to-play LR, not necessarily. 1 million Dragonstones for all players, that would be sick. But, obviously, you know, I said realistically, so... Probably not going to be that. Physical Piccolo. Don't know how that really fits the theme, Alan. I don't know what's going on there. AGL Bardock obviously makes more sense. AGL Bardock EZA. And the EZAs for the Great 8 Bardock squad. That would actually be pretty cool. I mean, if they did them well enough, I feel like they could actually be very fun. Especially to run as a team overall. I think that would be pretty cool. And then, yeah, we have AGL Bardock or AGL Cell and AGL Gohan and in Cell. Although they're probably going to be held off to Superhero. That makes a lot of sense. This is actually a cool idea, though. The EZA for King Cold and Mecha Frieza. Now, obviously, that was, I guess, yeah, there's no new battlefield up. So they'd have to drop, like, a special new battlefield, which they already did for the worldwide celebration. So I guess that's not as likely. Although they could just add, like, extra missions, right? Because we have the new worldwide celebration battlefield. They could add, like, a bunch of special bonus missions for completing it again, even though if you've already done it and done all the missions that already exist, to give you a ton of extra Battlefield medals. But that would be pretty cool to get an EZA for King Cold and Mecha Frieza, because, you know, the Wicked Bloodline team, absolutely on fire at the moment, so that would be pretty cool. Shout out to Vilify, another one of my 5'9" bros. I think an EZA for this guy would actually be pretty cool. He was Namek Goku's, like, side banner unit, wasn't he? I think, or... Was it that around that time he came out? I think it was, yeah. An EZA for him would be pretty cool as an AoE unit. Wicked Bloodline, as far as I can think off the top of my head, doesn't have any, like, current meta level, like, AoE units. Because this guy and the free-to-play second form Frieza are obviously quite aged out at the moment. Because, yeah, this guy, pretty hard to run, especially in, like, the difficult content, right? Like Wicked Bloodline or Terrifying Conqueror Super Battle Road. But that would be pretty cool. And then Minato had a few ideas. Chilled Story Event, the Chilled Super Strike Revamp, AGL Bardock EZA, Wicked Bloodline All-Star Raid. We had a bit of back and forth about this because I think the All-Star Raid is a terribly designed event. If they want to do it, I don't want to go into all the details, but basically what I said to him, I would rather, if they want to do something like that again, just make it like 100 or 200 stages, but where it's actually, like, challenging and you have to kind of be engaged while you're playing it. Whereas, like, the 999 stages, I mean, the first 600 were just a complete joke. So, like, what's the point? It was just a massive time sink. So, yeah, you got a ton of good rewards, but I'd rather see a better made, like, better designed event that still gave out decent rewards. But it'd be interesting. A lot of people actually mentioned, I'm surprised I didn't bring it up, I should have, the Cyclopean Guard, the AGL card, because obviously they have featured in the event, in a couple of events as, like, enemies, obviously at the start of the one of the Red Zone stages. So the fact that the card, there's that AGL SSR that doesn't even have an Awakening yet. So Awakening and an EZA would be pretty cool. Someone mentioned Piccolo and Icarus Gohan. I'm assuming they mean, like, a card together. Or maybe they mean physical Piccolo, because the Tech Gohan on Icarus is the only unit now that's directly related to one of the Cooler movies that didn't get an EZA during this celebration. But technically he awakened to TUR with the physical Piccolo medals. So the way they do a lot of these EZAs, it means physical Piccolo would have to EZA, and then he would be a sub-EZA using the same medals. So, I mean, they could do that, but very weird to drop, like, a physical Piccolo EZA during the end of this celebration. So yeah, EZAs for Gohan and Cell again. I don't know if they'll add anything to the missions. A lot of people said like a new Red Zone stage. Yeah, see, there's our boy Cyclopean Guard again. A few people mentioned Red Zone, like a Golden Frieza. Like, we didn't get a Golden Frieza Red Zone stage for Wicked Bloodline. But I feel like they're not going to add more stages to the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone because we already got like the final stage, Broly and Omega for the other ones, have the missions for the super types and the turns, and Metal Cooler Core got those missions, and we obviously have the support memory for beating all of those existing missions, so all the existing stages. So I feel like they are done with the Wicked Bloodline set of Red Zone stages. This is kind of a cool idea. Frieza and Cooler free-to-play LR rather than the GT Juniors from the anniversary. Now, obviously, in like canon, well, Cooler's not technically canon anyway, but there's no real interaction between the two. This is one of the cutscenes from that game that not Hirudegarn, Hachiak comes from. Which, if I remember rightly, I don't think these are even supposed to be the actual characters. They're like made up of evil smog or something. I can't really remember how the movie goes, but well, it's not even a movie. It was originally cutscenes in a game, wasn't it? That was then remastered. But that would be kind of cool, right? A Cooler and Frieza What If together card. I think that would be pretty cool, especially for a free-to-play. I mean, they did the GT Juniors, right? And they were in one episode of GT for like 30 seconds. So something like that would be pretty cool. A lot of people saying about Bardock, new LR character, yeah, Cyclopean Guard. A lot of mentioning of Bardock and Shield. I think that would be a cool way for ending it. A lot of global players wanted to see the EZA for the LR Metal Cooler army, but obviously, remember, that is out on JP already, so we're getting that during the Resurrection of F Blues celebration, which will be out soon. This one is very random and unrelated, but would be kind of cool, right? Because I really want the EZA for Super Saiyan 3 LR Goku. But a couple of people actually mentioned as well Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, just so they could see the reaction of the community, like him getting an EZA. That would be pretty funny. But yeah, a couple of ideas. A lot of the same ones repeated, the ones that people would really like to see, like AGL Bardock getting some love, some kind of new chilled, the Cyclopean Guard getting the Awakening and the EZA. So there's quite a few things that they could do. I definitely don't think we're going to see any more like banners or anything. And then, yeah, it's interesting that we never got the Global versus JP winner and loser cards for this year, which they've done for the last couple of years. So it was a bit weird that they didn't do that this time around. I mean, realistically, those cards, you're never going to run them anyway, so it's not the biggest loss. But that was a cool little thing that they've done for the last few years that they have not done. Also, someone did mention a new Super Battle Road stage, which of course we didn't get. Global hasn't had one for a little while as well, so I think that would be cool for these big celebrations, where obviously the Super Battle Road stages, they kind of release in the order, sort of, that the categories came out, and then the ESBR ones obviously just release in the same order, because they're the same stages but beefed up. But it would be kind of cool if for some of these big celebrations they just dropped stages for the new categories. Like, imagine in part 1, because of the Carnival exclusive banners, they could have dropped like a powerful comeback Super Battle Road stage, and then obviously Wicked Bloodline already has one, so they could have dropped one for like Joint Forces in part 2 or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. More Super Battle Road stages more often would definitely be more fun. And then, yeah, people mentioning Gohan and Cell EZA again, King Cold and Frieza EZA, which would be awesome. New free-to-play LR definitely would be a very cool idea. So there's a few things that get brought up quite a lot because they are the most common. I think the AGL Bardock EZA would probably be the most hyped thing, as long as his EZA was actually good. Because, like I said, a lot of people would then be able to use this guy to beat some of the more difficult Wicked Bloodline Red Zone stages. As long as they fix, like, you know, his passive so he works better on other teams. Because if they make this guy really, really good, and you only need to run like Pure Saiyans or even Super Saiyans around him, it means he's going to work super well on a lot of like teams that are largely built with like Goku family or Super Saiyan units. So then he would be really, really good. So let me know what you guys think down below. Based on the dates, as we talked about, do you think they are actually going to do some kind of EX part? And if they do, what kind of stuff are they going to put in? What would you love to see them do, even if it isn't necessarily the most realistic, since that was what I asked for in the tweet? Even if it's not a realistic thing, what would you absolutely love to see them do in the EX part? Let me know down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.